Today I'll be showing you guys how to do this exact effect. You can do it on absolutely any camera, and it only takes 2 simple steps. First, you want to set your camera to a continuous burst photo mode, taking anywhere from 6 to 10 photos per second, and then change your shutter speed anywhere between 1/10 of a second and 1/15 of a second, so that when you move the camera around, you kind of see that blurry effect. Alright, now that you've got your camera in burst mode and you slow down your shutter speed, now all you gotta do is hold down the shutter button and then move the camera forwards, move it backwards, spin it backwards, and do some cool camera movements, some pans, some whips, and that wraps up everything you'll have to do in camera. Sweet, now that you've taken the photos, throw them onto your computer and open up Lightroom. These are my raw photos right here. From this point on, just edit the photos how you like. They should look something like this. And then what you want to do is separate each photo by the movement that you did. For example, if you did a spin in, then select all those photos and just export that and call it shutter lag 1. I came up with 7 different shutter lags, about 7 different movements from the performance. And if we open up number 7, you can see that's exactly what I did here. Now you can import your shutter lags into Premiere Pro. If we open up number 7, we can drag all of these photos out onto the timeline. Then what we can do is adjust them to scale. And if we play this out, you're gonna see it goes pretty fast. This is what it looks like when they're all laid out. Now what we'll do is create a nested sequence out of these photos. We can scale in just a little bit, and now we can start messing around with the speed of these clips, making it not go by so fast and really giving it that jittery look. And if you like that look, stick with it. But personally, what I do is I press Command R on the keyboard, which opens up this clip speed and duration. And I'll slow this down to about 30%. You're gonna see it's a lot slower now that we slowed it down to 30%. This is what it looks like. So pick your favorite 7 to 10 frames, and then you can delete the rest of the nested sequence, and then this is what you'll overlay on your timeline. And that's pretty much the effect. We can check it out right here. Super short and simple. However, if you'd like to take it one step further like I did, you can add a bunch of digital assets like viewfinders, film burns, grain, and some camera clicks. This will make the effect come to life even more. And if that sounds interesting to you, I've created a pack with some of my favorite digital assets that I've collected over the years, completely for free. Just send me a DM on Instagram and I'll make sure to get back to you with the link. Otherwise, you can find similar assets online with platforms like YouTube, Epidemic Sound, and different stock footage websites. Sweet, now that you have your assets, we can add the camera clicks below the effects. So that would be right here. If we mute the rest of the layers, this is what it would sound like. A good tip too is to place your sounds a frame or 2 before your actual transition, because usually we hear things before we see them, so this will just make it seem more cohesive. As for the grain and overlays, just throw them on top of your nested sequence. These are photos here. If we open this up, you can see that. We'll throw that back there. We can throw the 8mm film grain, which looks just like this. We can see it in the upper left-hand corner. And what we'll do with that is we'll open up the effect controls. We'll go down to blend. This is what it would normally look like. And we switch the blend mode to overlay. Now when we check it out, it's not gray anymore. And then with that, we can add this crosshair, which kind of just sells the effect that we're inside of a camera. Accompanied with the grain, the photo clicks, and the crosshair, it's really selling the effect. You don't have to do this with every shutter lag effect, but what I did for this one here was include a film burn, which I've also included in the pack. We can check that out right here, mute all the other layers. This is what it would look like. And if we throw that on top of the shutter lag and we go to the blend modes and we mess around with the different options like vivid light, you can see that they're all gonna give different effects. This one's making it more pink and saturating the image. Color dodge is making it just a little brighter. Linear dodge add looks pretty cool too. And lastly, just mess around with the opacity of this. At 100%, it obviously looks very intense, but when we take this down to, let's say, about 40 to 30%, we'll throw it at 35. It looks a lot more subtle and really makes the effect come to life. And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown of the shutter lag effect. And if you did, I have a handful of other videos on my channel that are just like this, where I break down some of my favorite effects and transitions. And if you end up using it, make sure to tag me, because it's always dope seeing everybody's work. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video, 12 p.m. AST. Peace.